Hi there, this week we're going to be looking at creating a panel plan in Photoshop. So the first thing you need to do is open up Photoshop. Then you'll need to start a new canvas. So if you go to File New and create Panel Plan, you'll need the preset International Paper, and then if you select A4, your resolution needs to be set to 300 and your colour mode CMYK because we're going to be using print, so it needs to be a really good quality, and your colour mode needs to be CMYK to allow for print settings. Now I'm going to be using a white background, but you can use a transparent one if you wish to. Click OK when you've got that. Now yours will come up just white, so you won't need to take the extras off. But can you make sure, please, if you go to View and Rulers, that Rulers is selected. So your rulers run across the top here and they allow you to put in a guide. So I'm just going to put in a guide for my panels. So I want them to be about that wide. Of course I can be really precise and measure this out, but this is just to give you an idea of how to draw a straight line. So the next thing I'm going to do is select my brush tool, and I'm going to select a brush of around about 15 pixels, something like that. I'd like my panels to be black in outline, so I'm going to select the black colour using the colour picker. And once I've done that, I can select this pen tool. So to use the pen tool, I put in a point and I hold down Shift on my keyboard. Then when I put in another point, it will maintain the straightness of the line. So I'm just creating a bit of a rectangle, and I've closed the gap. And now if I right click Stroke Path, making sure that Simulate Pressure's off, it should create kind of a box, which is your panel. Don't forget, right click and delete path. So we've got our first panel. I'm going to just go ahead and create a second panel. And again, I'm just putting in points. And I'm holding down Shift. And again, right click Stroke Path, click OK, right click Delete Path. So you should see that when we move these guides back, we've got our two panels. Now the next stage of the process, you might see that they're slightly off, but that's probably because I wasn't holding down Shift properly. But you can have a play around with that. You can do your panels on different layers as well if you like, which will allow you to move each one around individually. So what I'd like to do now is write in a bit of a description, panel description, using your script, of course, and everything you've learnt from today's lesson about transitions. So I'd like you to just give a description using your typography tool, your type tool, and just a standard font like Times New Roman for this one so that it's easy to read. So I'm just going to write a description of the scene. Obviously that's what you'd need to do, write a description there of what's happening in the scene. Explain what we see. And then in the second frame, you also need to do a description. But as well as that, you need to give some indication of why you've chosen the size and shape. Oops. There's a little bit of delay whilst I'm typing. But also explain the panel transition. So for instance, movement to movement. And this is just kind of a basic breakdown. Now, if you wanted to go one step further, you could put in arrows to show which direction we're reading from. For instance, if you're doing a manga comic rather than a Western comic. But that's pretty much it, really. That's your panel plan. So, of course, you need to do 15 panels, which you can spread out over 5 pages, or you can spread out over as many pages as you like. Don't be afraid to go over 15 panels and space them out however you like on your page. Okay, so happy planning, and that's it really.